Lovely. Hello, my friends. Love and peace coming at you today. I have decided today to start a lovely new little video series that I think is going to do me a lot of good health. I'm calling this series Walks with a Friend, because I think that all of us need a friend. We all need a friend. I would like the subject of these talks to be about our emotions, because I feel that's another thing that we are really in need of, is some more information on how to manage ourselves. We can influence our own selves to be healthy and whole. Then we can influence others to do the same. And that's a pretty great thing. So today's talk, I wanted to talk about managing anger and rage. I feel like anger is a very difficult thing to hold on to and manage. It's a very strong emotion, and if you don't let go of it, it will consume you, kind of like a fire. If you don't redirect it, it can burn you alive from the inside. And what can happen with that if you don't let anger go? If you hold on to it, just let it be within you, you're actually going to let that out on other people in ways that you won't expect, and maybe ways that other people won't expect either. I think one of the best things that we can do in this day and age, and all this time of war and rage, I think the best thing that we can do is to take care of ourselves and our own war and rage. Because by doing that, we can then stop the cycle, right? I recently was working through some trauma baggage of my past, and I had so much anger fill me. It was as if the event had happened again to me in real time. I was so angry that I felt it consuming me, like I mentioned earlier, just like eating me alive. What I normally do when I'm that upset is I will go and drink or something to try to forget about it. I'll have a coping mechanism, you know, cigarettes, alcohol. It's rough stuff. It's bad on your health, and it really doesn't help the true problem, which is the anger. So instead of letting myself do my normal mechanisms, I told myself that I had to do something healthy instead. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to do that, because that meant that I would have to work through the anger, right? And think about all the feelings that I was feeling. And I didn't want to do that. We don't want to do that as humans, right? We try to suppress and run away. So what I did this time is I went on a walk. I've never done it before. I went on a walk, a rage walk. I actually came down this exact area. My neighborhood is really nice and big. I'll show you guys. I came over to this one spot, and it doesn't work for everyone, okay? It doesn't work for my fiance, but for some people it really does work to scream it out, to growl, to rage, to just like let all these feelings inside of you out through your mouth, right? And it sounds scary and it's very abnormal, right? It's not something we do in public. We're taught as children to not throw fit, right? At home or in public, we're just taught not to throw fits, right? So as adults, we don't throw fits. But I came out to this beautiful spot right here. It's a lovely little palm grove. This is gorgeous. Lovely little spot. I just came out here at night and I screamed all of the bad shit out, and I just let it go right here. I sat on this rock right here. I sat on this rock and I just cried. I cried and I just let it all out. And then when I was done, there's nothing left in me. I didn't have any energy left in me. I could only scream for so long, you know, and that's the thing about screaming, is that you don't need to do it for a really long time. You just need to do it to get the shit out inside, right? Like flushing a toilet. And so once everything was done and I felt okay again, I felt empty. What I did was I put my hand on my heart and I said, sorry, I speak in a weird accent sometimes. It's really weird. I put my hand on my heart and I told myself, this will never happen to me again. And I just said it like over and over. I said it like 4 times. I reaffirmed to myself that I will not be used in the same way ever again. And that was something I've never done before, and something that's actually incredibly moving. Incredibly moving. I would say that it's something that healed me. Something healed in me that night. Finally. Like stitches being put into a wound that's been gaping for a very, very long time. And to let the wound gape is a choice. It is most definitely a choice. To take back your power means that you have to heal from those past hurts, from those past traumas. You need to heal from things that people have done to you and from things that you have done to yourself. I'll say that last part again. You need to heal from things that you have done to yourself. Okay? Because I can bet you money that if you sat down and thought about it real hard, you would remember events where you exploited yourself in some kind of way. You did something that you didn't want to do for someone else, or for money, or for love, or for attention, or for whatever. Those things that you've done to yourself, those things create shame and they create guilt, and those things subconsciously block you from getting the good things that you want in life. Because deep down, someplace inside of you, you feel like you don't deserve it. You feel unworthy. Okay, so taking back your power starts with healing those wounds caused by others, caused by yourself, and recognizing what's been done and calling it for what it is. You may have had loved ones in the past, family members, do unspeakable things to you, but you've thought up until now that, oh no, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that because, no, they're my family. So it was, something else. You make excuses for them. Maybe it's their excuse that they gave you. Or maybe you love them so much that you make up excuses for them. Whatever that looks like for you, you have to break that illusion and recognize it for what it really is. If someone used you for their personal gain and it hurt you in some kind of way, that is something that you have to heal from. You can't ignore it. You can't glaze over it. You can't pretend like it's something else or it's not there, because it will always subconsciously and internally impact you, because your body does remember. Your body will remember. No matter how hard your brain tries to make you forget, your body will remember. Okay, and it will remind you in ways that suck. That's why healing is so good and so worth it. It is the most worth it work of effort you could ever put in this lifetime, is to do self-healing. And I say that because I have been a miserable individual until I started working on myself, working my problems out. And that's where the bread and butter is, baby. You can have all the dreams in the world to make money, to be famous, to be pretty, to be smart, this, that. But until you heal what's broken inside you, you're gonna have a hard time. And some of us have a lot more work to do than others. And that's okay. It just shows you what kind of character is deep within you. And that's who's going to show up to do the work. Even if you have a huge mountain of problems, you can overcome it. You just need a little bit of help. You just need a little bit of help. Whether that's coming from yourself, you, or a friend or family, you can do it. You can do it. Love and peace. I love you guys. Trying to bring more light into this world because it's a dark place. And I've been wanting to create a social media for years and years. I felt like I've had something to share in my heart. And until now, I've been too scared to do it. But here I am now. I'm 32 years old. I'm old and proud. Maybe I'm not old. I don't even know anymore what's what. But I'm finally doing it. And here I am out in this beautiful wonderland. I'm out here. I made the change. I shifted my timeline. And I'm here to spread the light. And spread the gospel of nature, because she is beautiful. Well, that's a house, but seriously though, how beautiful are these plants? Ouch. Look how lovely. It's a great time. If you want to be friends, follow me. I'm here to offer you love and peace from a place of transformation.